the host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
And good afternoon, everybody. Happy Saturday afternoon, high noon here in the desert. Thank you for joining me on Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips, which is great that happens to be my name, because if it wasn't my name, the title of the show would be really silly. But I am Aaron Phillips. We got a great lineup of guests, which I'll introduce here in a second. Thank you for watching us on Facebook. If you would like also another alternative, you can go to YouTube and you can check it out on www.dbtv.com, the YouTube channel. And we will begin getting the show out on my YouTube channel, Aaron's Hour Show. That'll be coming up, all of our new content there. Listen, if you got to run errands, which we know is food shopping day or whatever, pick up the kids from soccer practice, download WWDBTV for your Android, WWDBTV LV for your iPhone devices. Better yet, phone's working. Call us, 702. What's the number? 992-3207. I got to look at the cheat sheet over there on the wall because I got bad eyes and I don't have it in front of me. But for those of you watching, it'll pop up on your screen. Call in, say hello, give us your thoughts on anything Vegas related or then some. Or if you have a question that you'd like me to respond to, I'll be happy to do that. Before I get to the news and stuff, I have a new segment intro. We ready to roll that there, boss? This is
with a nod to the past and an eye to the future. Here is Aaron Phillips with Vegas Unwrapped 2.0.
All right, thank you there, Batgirl. Batgirl got me in trouble with my wife this morning. She says, I don't like Batgirl unless John can put her face on Batgirl. Then maybe I can get away with it. And they'll work on that for us. Anyway, so didn't get to do this last week because we were out at Sam's Town last weekend, being part of the Power Play Sports Collectible Show out there along with Impact Wrestling. So I kind of have some news backed up from last week plus this past week, and I don't know what's been going on. But one of the things I really like, and I'm going to get my guests here involved in some of the conversation. To my right, as soon as John goes to the wide shot, I'll introduce to you movie director, person who is a two-time returning individual to the show. God only knows why. She's coming back, but that's okay. She loves it. And here's the scoop. This is the first interview in 2023 that Deborah Richards, right here to my right, is doing to promote her movie, Move Me No Mountain. We'll talk more about that after the break. Sitting to her right is a gentleman I met at Bagel Cafe. Two guys are sitting there waiting for orders to come up. We start talking. We find out we're both doing the same thing in terms of entertaining people, simply known as Jaco. There he is on the end. How are you guys? Woo. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
So good to see you again. Great to have you here. I was a guest on Jaco's show about a month or so ago. Yep. So this is my ability, my time finally to good afternoon. Oh, that's my friend in Nielsen. Good afternoon out there. Appreciate you tuning in. I was on his show, finally had an opportunity to bring it on here, so we'll have some fun today. And you might get fired on questions from both of us because he's an interviewer too. So
I'm especially fond of two-part questions.
Okay. And we usually ask questions based on responses. You know that. So it's kind of like Pavlov's dog, right? You just kind of, here's the question or whatever. So, all right, let's get started. I don't remember if this was last week or this past week or the week before, but I always like talking about people who win money here because it's nice that people win, but I want to remind everybody that Las Vegas was not built on winners, right? I mean, many people have left money behind, which is why we have some great tax levels and, of course, great entertainment, and we love you all coming. So here's one. Guy's out here for his son's bachelor party. Mm-hmm. That's it, coming out for a bachelor party, right?
Common thing.
Yeah, absolutely, right. Wisconsin man who is in Vegas celebrating his son's bachelor party is heading home with some extra money. This is the part that I love, because I'm always intrigued by how much money people spend when they win big, thinking that they really made it big, right? Well, according to Season Entertainment, the lucky winner identified as Daniel Platel of Wisconsin won, you ready for this? $131,800. Hello, Jennifer out in Hawaii. Thank you for joining us. He was playing slots at the Paris Hotel, and he won this big jackpot after only playing for 30 minutes.
Wow.
But the question is, how much did he put in that 30 minutes or 29 minutes before the 30th minute hit that he got? $131,000.
And also, how many times in his life have he done those 30 minutes?
Exactly. See, that's the part I wanted to know. How much do these people really spend? But who cares? They won it and I didn't. All right. Well, I do care. I'm glad that they're winning because that means they're going to come back and spend the money again. All right. Here's another one. Here's a guy who was coming out to vacation to Vegas. He decided to try his gamble a little something before even coming to Vegas. Brian King won $10,000 playing an Iowa lottery scratch-off game.
Wow.
Iowa lottery, many people set to travel to Vegas. These folks are set to travel to Vegas. Hopes of winning big at the city's casinos, but his luck started before he even got on the plane. King, a 55-year-old from Tipton, Iowa, bought a 7 bonus scratch-off ticket on a whim shortly before his vacation, and his card hit all lucky sevens for him to win $10,000.
Wow.
So
only 10,000 with all 7?
that's all it was. It was a $20 ticket he bought.
That doesn't sound right. Like you get all
But it's
7
not
numbers?
Vegas, though. See, he won it in
Right.
Iowa.
Right.
No offense, Iowa.
Yeah.
But it's not Vegas when you hit lucky sevens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he put in $20. But here's another question. Oh, but I will say that players could win big on that game. He could have won $250,000,
Wow.
but he did. He got 10.
How many numbers would he have to get right for that?
I don't know. Listen, don't ask me those questions. I have no
It
clue.
seems
No, I'm just
like-
kidding.
it seems like
You would think you'd have to hit certain numbers, right? It's just-
if I got 7 numbers, I'd be expecting more than 10K.
I agree. But here's the thing: for $20 a ticket, how many $20 did he drop to buy a ticket? Even though this was on the win before he won 10 grand. Hopefully, it was enough to at least cover his vacation in Vegas. Actually, according to news, next year, Formula One is coming, right?
Mhm.
$10,000 night to stay at MGM, so he can spend one night at MGM when the race is out there.
I
So,
actually watched the the big F1 event that
Yes.
they had. Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched it there. I was
did?
I was one of the main editors for all the stuff going out.
nice.
Yeah.
That's going to be crazy here next year, going
It's
in that
crazy
parking lot.
doing it
How many
because we
people
were-
attended that? That had to be huge.
Well, I was in a container just up the side of Caesars.
Okay.
And obviously they closed down the strip.
Right.
And they had the cards coming down.
Oh, the
strip.
parade. That was the parade. That's
Yeah,
right.
for the ticket sales.
Oh
right?
man, but they also have NASCAR in this week too.
Oh wow.
NASCAR's out at the raceway tomorrow. Well, they have qualifying heats and stuff that they normally do the parade of cars down the strip also, which I thought was scheduled this past week as well. But here's the thing. We talked about this actually on my wrestling show before this. People know it's the entertainment capital of the city, regardless. I don't care what they say about New York, Chicago, or LA or anything. But when you look at this city now with sports,
Oh, it's
okay?
it's going nuts.
You've got you highlighted, you got NASCAR, right? You got NASCAR here. End of the month, the men's NCAA tournament will be played elsewhere across the country, but we get as many people in Vegas as we do for New Year's, which is a couple of 100,000 people. And coming up this year, a couple of the actual NCAA tournament rounds will be here in Vegas at the Allegiant Stadium. Okay, just to name that. We have the Aviators, AAA team of the Oakland Athletics. Of course, everybody knows about the Raiders. No basketball yet. Will we get a major league team? Who knows? Super Bowl is going to be here next year.
That's big.
So Vegas is a sports capital as well. I don't care what anybody says. So
I
you
was
know what?
surprised to see the new ice hockey rink in Water Street.
Yes.
in Henderson.
Well, and that's right. And then they have the Silver Knights, which is the AAA team of the Knights. Is that the same place they on Water Street?
I don't know. Is
I
that,
think the
yeah,
practice
I think it is.
I thought the practice facility was down like behind the M somewhere. There could be another facility, a secondary facility that they have there too.
Right.
Who would have thunk it? Hockey in the desert, right? You know what I'm saying there? Wouldn't you think? But
I wouldn't be surprised with anything. I mean, we have seafood here.
that's
We have
true.
the best seafood in the world.
That's
here.
right.
And,
Seafood in the desert. You guys can figure that part out.
Right.
And I learned this before we went on the air, as Deborah is also from Jewish descent, as Yaakov is and myself. Asked me why the Jews are returning to the desert after escaping it 5,300 years ago. That's what I want to know. Think about that one, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Certainly not the heat, because we all hate heat. Actually, here's another one. Queen High, 7-card straight flush earns a player $147,000.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking some numbers, right? Arizona, this visitor was from. He will only identify himself as Ryan. He was playing Pai Gow poker this week on Tuesday at the Suncoast Hotel and Casino
Nice.
up in our neighborhood up there in the Summerlin area. $147,000, $35, and let's not forget the 76 cents. His winning hand was a Queen High 7-card straight flush. This marks the second Pai Gow Poker progressive jackpot at Boyd Gaming property in 2023. By the way, all you 6-figure winners, we know of a movie producer and a couple of show hosts that can use some investors. Call us.
Great investment opportunity.
That's right.
Call
You can see it.
1-800-Deborah Richards.
That's right. And if you want, just call us here at 702-992-3207. We'll talk to you right now and make a mitzvah happen. Anyway, here's another one. Valley Visitor is celebrating a huge win. I guess at the Rampart, another local casino. Sorry, only hit $40,000, but that's okay. Royal Flush in a high limit room on Wednesday.
Nice.
Wow.
How much money you gotta have to go into the high limit ring?
More than the same 25 cents I'd spend in a slot machine, I can tell you that much. Hey, Salome, how you doing out there? Nice of you to jump in there. Appreciate it. here's what's interesting. Caesar's Palace, the Caesar's Properties over lately has really been giving out winnings like crazy, okay? 3 jackpots were awarded in 24 hours at Caesar's Palace. So let's see if I can, in 26 hours, if I can quickly do this. February 17th at 8:18 p.m., a player hit for $401,000 on a jackpot playing video poker.
No way.
February 18th, 7:44 a.m., a player won $120,300 jackpot playing video poker. We've seen a little trend here. And later that day, another player hit for $440,000. Again, playing video poker, all at Caesar's Properties.
Wow.
Getting a trend there, folks. You know where I'm going after the show. Couple of more. I'm going. Yeah, right. I got to take a nap. I have a 4:00 appointment I got to get to. Player wins jackpot at the Flamingo on Thursday. Normally, let's see. Another player this time at the Flamingo's. Got to turn the page. Oh, poultry. Caesars Entertainment said a player hit for $117,492. Major progressive jackpot on the I Love Suits poker table. The player won after landing a 6-card straight flush.
Wow. Buffet for everyone.
That's right. You a buffet. You a buffet.
Everyone gets buffet.
Real quickly, Super Bowl weekend, not Formula One, but Super Bowl in 2024 is coming here. Now, I wish I was in a position to have $10,000 sitting in my bank account wondering, just what can I do with this, right? Other than invest in movies, of course.
Of course.
MGM Resorts, down on the Strip, possibility of $10,000 a night at MGM Resorts for Formula One next year, or for Super Bowl, for Super Bowl.
Wow.
Okay?
I can see the stadium from my bed. You can come stay in my place
Yes.
for $100.
That's right. Well, I'll take a reservation on that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's an indoor stadium. I can see much, though.
I can fly the drone over.
Right. I'll bring the nachos.
There you-
We'll just peek down on
There you go. But here's some other bookings that are out there that are probably a little more affordable, so I can quickly thumb to the page here without getting a paper cut. The Rio Hotel Casino down on Flamingo, just off the Strip. They're only offering, ready for this, February 9th, $497 for Friday night, $530 for Saturday, and the day of the game, $497. So it's a lot less than 10 grand. But folks, just imagine those prices per night. They are much higher than the regular prices people could get for any day, any weekend. Now, weekend prices generally go up.
Yeah.
But at a Super Bowl or Formula One, the basketball tournament, New Year's, everything, man, oh man, but $10,000 potential at MGM Resorts for one night.
I wonder if you get a late checkout with that.
Considering the game is right, that's a great question, because the game it would kick off our time at 5 p.m. Pacific time, I think, before whatever it is, pre-show starts like Saturday night. You would think people, that's a great question. So if you're going to book, check into those checkout times on Sunday, or many people are probably booking till Monday, I would bet, because how late the game is. They're going to go out, party, celebrate, get out on Monday. But
I wonder if they waive the resort fees. That's $10,000 a night.
Right.
they better waive everything. Other than just saying waving hello or goodbye when you pull in, they better waive a lot of stuff. Resort fees, electric fees, all that stuff.
Right.
But if you are going to go to the game, seriously, make your reservations soon and get them booked. Now, here's the other side of the coin. We talked about all the winners where money's going out to visitors. Well, in the month of January, I would ask you guys, how much money do you think in terms of revenue the state took in revenue in November for the state of Nevada and casino monies? What do you think? How much money do people spend all over Vegas, Reno,
This
wherever?
is just casinos. This isn't weed or anything.
No.
Just casinos.
Straight
Wow.
casino betting
Whoa.
across the state in January. Take a guess.
Wow. I'd say 44 million.
Not bad, but wrong.
What about 1 billion?
Too high.
$1.27 billion in the state of Nevada. $713 million of that came in on the Strip.
Whoa.
Okay.
Wow.
So I know people have been questioning about what's going on in Vegas since the pandemic, and is it back? Folks, we had 40,000 people still coming to Vegas last year, the first full year after the pandemic, and we're spending $1.3 billion in January. You bet your ass Vegas is back, baby. And not only just casino fun, but shows, movies, sports, visits, natural. Now, did you see the mountains out there this week? We had snow in Las Vegas this week. Western part of the city had beautiful snow-covered Mount Charleston, man. They got to be killing it up there with skiing, right? So, folks, Vegas has just about anything and everything you could ever want in the city, family-wide. So That's all I got for news and notes for 2 weeks. That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of stuff, a lot of winners.
I'm so glad we're getting ready to go to break because now I can catch my breath and have some opportunity. That's what I call it, letting him know we're going to be going to break because he needs
Right now?
in a few seconds. Because we got some great stuff to talk about. And I was told before we went on the air, we got a scoop that you will hear right here from Deborah, right here on my show, Aaron's Hour. If she goes on to Yakov's show, he can't say that. I could say breaking news and scoop right here. You're watching Aaron's Hour. Deborah, Yakov, more time with them, and you will be right back. Now, John.
Anxiety, depression, PTSD, ADHD, pain, inflammation, dealing with mental or physical health issues, or know someone who is? Relax, refresh, recover, revive. Natural health alternatives using hemp-derived CBD and other cannabinoids found in hemp are increasingly becoming more effective in managing various symptoms that affect your body, state of mind, and daily life. Planet Harvest Health's mission is to help those looking for natural, new, and better solutions for a healthier way of life, specializing in small batch, handcrafted alternatives, providing higher quality and a cost-effective product. Go to planetharvesthealth.com for more information and education.
I'm Matt. I'm Chief.
And I'm Aaron, and together we are
Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Join us every Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time.
right here on WWDB TV Network and all the shows that are available for you to watch. And why is that?
Because the Chief says so.
Hi, welcome back to Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. And by the way, you have a live stream going here, don't you there, Miss Deborah?
Oh, I do.
Say hi to your fans out there.
Hi, everyone on Facebook. I don't think anyone's even watching.
Well, let's
Hi.
see. That's okay. It's out there.
It's,
That's right.
it's out there. It's on. It's just, hey guys, if you're tuning in, we're here at Aaron's
This is
Hour.
simulcasting at its best.
This is a Facebook Live of my interview this morning.
And you know what? If you're watching us on Facebook and you want to go to Deborah's page, please feel free to, like her page, whatever, and stay on top of what she's doing with projects. Anyway, Deborah Richards, this is the second time I've had the pleasure and the honor to interview with you. We chatted a handful of months ago when your movie, Move Me No Mountain, was still just about wrapping up, getting done. Now we got a big premiere, which we'll talk about. Long history of movies and entertainment. We'll get to talk about that. And if you notice her accent, she's from Brooklyn, New York. No, I'm only kidding. We'll talk about that as well. And then my Bagel Cafe buddy, I'm going to share the story here momentarily, has a great show, which I don't know if, John, do you have a one shot on Yakov there?
Yes, I do.
Have a one shot.
Would you like?
I would like a one shot, please. This is called producing and directing while the show is live. Look at that hat he's got on. Outlet to, you can smile. It's okay. Jeez Louise. Yakov, come on, bud. Anyway, Outlet to Reality is the show. Tell everybody a little bit about what the show's about.
Guys, it's basically philosophical. It's to get your mind out of your reality. So it's humor, but anything about life, basically to help you, like mental health, what is a toxic relationship, but it's a great place to have fun.
And he's also a veteran of TV commercials. At 7 years old, in 1997, how old were you?
I was I think I was in second grade, but I don't know
So
how
it'd be
old.
about seven-ish.
Seven, yeah.
He was in a Perk Plus shampoo commercial.
Oh, wow.
The green bottle.
That's the green bottle. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Background in communications, media, and theater. He's been in plays and shows and movies. Been here. He started his podcast in 2020, representing the first Mexican and Guatemalan Jew. Think about that combination, ladies and gentlemen, to ever have a podcast. So that's the first ever there. And then I find out that Deborah's also part of the tribe from as a Latin Jew as well. And listen, let's get 6 more people down here. We can have a minion here come and look that word up if you want to. Anyway, so introduce your guest here that you have in studio in case.
Oh, sure. So, just off camera, I'm actually here with my producer of Moving the Mountain, Patrick Wertz. He's an Emmy-nominated director in his own right and has been my production partner for 8 years. So, hi, Patrick.
I am doing great, and yes, I am here. I'm just off the camera. Can you see me? I'm just east of Mandalay Bay, I think.
Oh, if you want to quickly step in behind Yakov to show people you are here, we're not doing ventriloquism acts here.
So
See, he is here.
Patrick exists.
He is here.
This is the other half of my brain
There you go.
walking away.
So we've got him mic'd up just in case he wants to add some thoughts about the movie or Deborah has something that would like to inject. So he's mic'd up. He's ready to go. You guys out there, come on, be part of the conversation. 702-992-3207. So Deborah, I want to start with you because your movie, when we last talked months and months and months ago, it was a 2-year project is what it's taken to wrap up.
Right.
Move Me No Mountain is well, you give them the synopsis of what it is.
Sure. So, Move Me to Mountain is a suspense drama set in Vegas, present day.
Mhm.
And it is about Jenna Anderson, a real estate agent in Vegas, who is stricken by guilt from the death of her daughter. So she decides to punish herself by voluntarily becoming homeless on the streets of Las Vegas.
John, if you can bring that flyer up too, that'd be great. Oh, there you go.
There
Look,
we
on
go.
command.
That's what we call a one sheet.
There you go.
There's a little one sheet about the movie. But yeah, it just dropped on Amazon Prime last week, and in USA and United Kingdom. So we're very excited. So please go check it out. Move Me to Mountain. It's amazing because if you're from Vegas, this movie will have a lot of meaning to you because not only it deals with a problem with society that we have in all urban cities of homelessness, but this is a very Vegas-centric story. And I don't think there's another movie ever in the history of the world that's ever shown Vegas like we show Vegas. We use every part of the Buffalo. We're shooting in the high rises in city center to downtown, to the Strip, to the desert, to Summerlin, to every part of the city, to the desert. And usually in movies you only see like the casinos, right? And so we really take a holistic view of Vegas and use every part of the Buffalo in this movie. So if you're from Vegas, for sure check it out. Because I think it's always really special when you're from a city and you watch a movie that's set in that city. There's always something kind of magical about that.
Absolutely.
So check it out and leave an honest review for us. And that would really help us out. It's Move Me to Mountain, now available on Amazon Prime.
Where did this idea of this plot come from? Because, when I talk to folks who are creative like yourself, the only creativity I have is trying to color in between the lines. But obviously to do what you have to do, you have to have a creative mind. Where did this story come from in your mind to put this to film?
Right. It's strange. I don't know where creativity comes from. Like it's like that magical spark that we're always so curious about. Where does that actually come from? I really don't know. It's like the movie is almost 2 years to the day, like by one day from the time I came up with it to the time that it came out. And originally I just woke up one morning and I had the name of the movie, the story, and the protagonist.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, I've got an idea. And there was tons that had to be fleshed out.
Sure.
And when you make a movie, you never have all the answers at the beginning. You kind of set off on this road and you just
must have gone through many edits then.
Yeah, well, you just have to have the confidence that you'll figure out the bits that are missing. As the rabbit hole gets deeper, everything gets clearer.
Right.
So I had the genesis of the idea, just waking up one morning, and then that was it.
Right on. You have a question?
Yeah, can I pick your brain a little bit?
Yeah.
So for you being a director, right?
Yeah.
Writer, you, like Aaron was saying, very creative person. I want to know, how has it been? Like, how did you know that film? Like maybe if you were young, or when did it hit you in your brain that I want to get into film?
Right. Well, that's a great question. I've been fascinated my whole life with film, right? Like when I was a really young kid, I'd like make my own version of Muppets. I'd like do the balloons and put them in the sleeves and make the papier-mâché head. And then I got a camera, and a VHS camera in like 1981.
Wow, VHS.
It was
you
huge.
young ones, look that up.
Like a big shoulder rig.
That's
and I would get Airfix models, like the little model airplanes and stuff, and I would kit bash them and make spaceships and then put them on thread and film them and stuff. So I've been playing with this stuff my whole life. In fact, I've been as a editor, I've been freelancing 15 years. As a director, I've been freelancing about 10 years. I've done about 100 commercials, 9 shorts, a few TV shows, 4 Emmys, yada, yada, yada. But this was my first opportunity to make a feature film. And I was the writer, director, DP, editor.
I was going to say, it's probably a shorter list of what you didn't do.
Yeah, probably. I did a lot.
How long did it take once the movie was completed?
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to pitch the idea. You have to pitch the movie to Amazon, I presume.
Well, no. The way
how does that work?
Well, the pitching starts when I start raising the money.
Oh, okay.
That's when the pitching really starts, because I had to, pitch like it's a under $500,000 movie. So I had to pitch like over about 120 people.
Okay.
And about 11 people came forward, and they were the executive producers, and they funded it.
Okay.
And then once we made the movie, we went to the American Film Market in Santa Monica in California.
Okay.
Where It's like the biggest meetup of distributors and independent filmmakers.
Okay.
And we walked away with about 10 offers on the movie.
Wow.
And then we deliberated for a few months.
Okay.
And we signed a deal with Indie Rights, who's our distributor, and then they take care of all the
Wow.
distribution.
So one last question that I want to turn to Jaco for a second. So how do you decide streaming service versus big screen?
That's a really, really interesting question. It's all.
That's why I get paid the big bucks
Yeah,
around
yeah,
here.
yeah. Well, it all depends on, like, is the juice worth the squeeze? I mean, the way movies work nowadays, because the whole streaming landscape and
Right.
the distribution and everything is constantly in a state
Especially
of
after the
evolution.
pandemic.
Yeah. So now, because we have a 9-month rollout, meaning the movie comes out different times, different
Sure.
places, different countries, different platforms.
Right.
Because of this, you can have movies that go to streaming first and then have a theatrical release.
Okay.
A friend of mine, Jamie Hill, an actress from Canada, she just had a movie do this, Skinamarink. It started off on YouTube.
Okay.
And then went to theatrical. And now it's
Wow.
been blowing up and just
Okay.
got released in Canada and stuff. So we are considering a week of theatrical in LA potentially.
Okay.
But for right now, with streaming, the distribution model just means that we can reach so many
Sure.
people.
Sure.
It's just so cost effective.
Sure.
With targeted Facebook ads and our marketing and everything else, it means we're able to reach a global audience.
So in
of literally
theory-
millions.
In theory, that streaming world now
Yeah.
could mean you guys and your investors would probably get a quicker return than if it just went to the big screen, potentially.
Well, there's so many variables
Okay.
and moving things on not only how a movie comes to be, but
Sure.
also the evolution of its life
Okay.
and depending who you're partnered with
Mhm.
and what kind of deals they have and stuff. So there's a lot of moving parts. But I mean, I know for a fact that like thousands of people have seen the trailer in the last couple of weeks because of digital streaming.
Sure.
And we even saw on YouTube this morning, it's only been out a few days and someone has pirated it already.
Oh.
And so we had to send YouTube a takedown.
Wow.
But that's part of the.
think
Yeah,
that's
Patrick,
right.
you want to
it's,
talk
it's
about that?
supposed to be. It's supposed to be our movie, but when you
Right.
click on it, it's actually homeless footage from Venezuela.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
On
it's
YouTube
really?
right now.
It's crazy, yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy.
So I
That-
wondered-
that just took a couple days.
I want to let our audience know that you will see the trailer here at the end of the show. And when it goes up on the Roku, when our Roku version will be up there in a couple of days, the trailer will be on there as well. So you'll actually be able to see it here on our show as well. So don't worry, we're teasing it for a reason. We want your interest in there. So you'll see it at the end of the show and you'll see it on the Roku channel. Hello, Kimberly. Kimberly, you missed the initial use of our new intro, but of course I sent it to you in honor of Ricky Cash and family. So anyway, people know what that's about. Okay,
So I
So-
have another question if I could share.
Sure.
I love follow-up questions.
Go for it.
So I meet a lot of filmmakers, right?
Yeah.
People that are starting and they struggle with basically getting rejected by the Sundance festivals,
Right.
and it hurts them because they
Yeah.
want to get back,
Yeah.
and that motivation could be gone because they've never probably ever had rejection. And so I want to ask you, right,
Yeah.
being a filmmaker, how do you?
Cope with that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. Another great questions today, guys. Well done for bringing it. Usually it's okay. So you just gotta have tough skin, man. You just gotta have tough skin. There's I've heard a lot of analogies of what filmmaking is like, and one of the best ones I think is like you stare at this brick wall and you size it up and you get ready to
I think I'll
run.
run through it.
And you just run as hard as you can against it, and you break through and you'll fall over, and the
Mhm.
bricks will crumble around you, and you get up and dust yourself, and you'll be dizzy, and there'll be another brick wall, and you just do it again. And you keep doing that, and you keep doing that until you get invited to talk about it.
There you go.
Wow.
Well, it's like, in baseball, you're in the Hall of Fame if you hit the ball 3 out of 10 times and get on base. When I was in timeshare, if you had got to meet 10 people in a 5-day period and one person purchased, you were considered the Hall of Fame of timeshare.
Oh, wow.
So there are a lot of industries where you have to have all those no's, and we were built to realize that the more and more no's that come towards us,
Yeah.
it's getting us closer to that one yes that we need.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so it's interesting perspective because obviously, some people, and I'm one of them years ago, you get that first no, you're like, oh crap, now what? I guess I'm not worth it. We have to think of something else. I think you said right, you have to have thick skin and
You have to
know.
have thick skin
you-
in the film industry. Yeah,
Absolutely.
no-
And many industries, not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
the film industry, but you have to have a thick skin in a lot
Yeah,
of places.
there'll there'll always be people waiting in the wings to tear you down, either jealousy or frustration or whatever. So there's always going to be like some kind of level of negativity around you. And,
Right.
and I remember when we were scouting, Patrick, do you remember when we were scouting for locations? I was on the phone with someone who's fairly well known in the movie biz in LA. And they spent 45 minutes on the phone just berating me, telling me all the reasons why this wouldn't work and how it would be impossible and
Wanna
how I
name
wouldn't
names?
raise the money. And,
Want to name names?
No,
I'm
no,
just
of
kidding. No,
course
no, I know you wouldn't.
Uh,
I had to ask. Come on. Everybody's out there wondering. I wonder who it is. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for watching Aaron's Hour. We won't be back next week.
But you remember that, right? And I was
Yeah,
like
you were-
literally crying in the car
Yeah, you were
because this
wondering-
person for 45 minutes just
You're-
berated me.
Exactly. You're wondering we shouldn't even continue scouting because
Yeah.
it's like a dead deal. But no, we continue scouting and we have our movie, and shows you can't always trust what people.
Right.
Everyone's got their own opinions, but
No one can ever take away your own passion for something.
Yeah, you got to have
Right.
incredible self-belief, and you just got to say, look, it doesn't really matter what other people think because I'm doing this, and that's a them
Right.
problem.
Yeah.
And
Right.
this is what I'm doing, and if you like it, great, and if you don't like it, it's not for you. That's okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like when you put a post up on Facebook and somebody berates you for your post and they don't like what you post. So I just tell people, look, you don't have to be bad. You don't have to be an idiot to comment on my post about how bad it is. You have the option to bypass it. Just skip it. Keep
Yeah.
going with your life.
All right.
And totally agree with that. That people have options to just say, look, it's not for me, and move on. That's all they got to do.
It's
That's all
like
they
now
gotta
the
do.
reviews are coming in, and 75, 80% are positive, and then the other 20% are not as positive, but
Right.
but okay. And it's like, how do I mentally prep myself
Right,
for
yeah.
these incoming reviews
Sure.
and putting myself out there like that for the world? And at the end of the day, I've got to kind of like not pay attention to
Right.
them because there's
Yeah.
nothing I can do about the movie now.
No,
It's
absolutely.
done.
Absolutely.
So we want reviews because it really helps us, but it's not like
Not like you
your
go back and edit it.
criticism can
Yeah.
do anything to even I can.
Shout out in the chat room to Mr. Frank Mazzaro. Frank, buddy, thanks for checking in with you. Kimberly, thank you for checking in. We appreciate you checking in. All right, so I want to go back about 4 months-ish. Whenever Hanukkah was on the calendar, I go to Bagel Cafe, one of my favorite bagel shops here in Las Vegas. Is a cheap plug for them on Buffalo and Westcliff. And I place my order at the counter, and they have a couple of chairs by the register where you just sit down and kind of wait for your name to be called. And this guy walks away from the counter, walking towards the register, and he's got a Hanukkah shirt on that I read, and I don't even remember what it said. What did it say? What is that?
I think it said Hanukkah. You know what?
Whatever it was. He got
Said
it,
something.
he got it at Target, which is even funnier. And it just caught my attention, and I said, dude, that's a really funny sweatshirt. And we started talking about it, and as he's waiting for his order, he sits down in the chair next to me, and we find out we got a lot of things in common. The Giants, we had a lot of stuff. We're just chatting never met the guy, right? He does a show and a pod. Really? I do a podcast. Read the whole thing. Lo and behold, we hit it off so great just in those 15 minutes. Why? Listen, Bagel Cafe made a connection here. That we started talking on Facebook. We've become good friends and supporting each other's projects. And as I said, I've been on his show, was on his show a month or so ago, whatever it was now. And now we've had an opportunity with his crazy schedule. I'm glad we make this work because you were originally scheduled for next week. He calls me in the packet and says, I got a new job, I got a new position, I got a new location, I can't come on next week. What can we do? I said, well, come on in and join me, be a co-host, and we'll talk to Deborah together and spend a little time talking about you. So I'm glad you made it in, dude.
Thank you.
So
thank
great
you.
to have you here. So, I read a little bit about your bio, and what I love the fact that we're looking at firsts here.
Yeah.
Okay. Your first movie goes out, hits Amazon Prime, going to be and continue to be a success. As I mentioned earlier, here you are, the first Mexican Guatemalan Jew to have a first-time podcast really out there, and representing a part of the media that, or people that are not part of the media, which I found very interesting. So when you realized all of that, what was the aha moment for your show?
So to be honest, at 2020, right, I lost my job with the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I even got rejected for the unemployment check. So I couldn't even get it.
Wow.
For 3 months, I didn't have family, friends out here. So I was struggling. I hit like a dark hole. And the podcast, something in me told me I got to do a podcast, but to share the experience of the pandemic and to kind of show the world, because a lot of people, they think that, there's, when you think Jewish, right, you just think Seth Rogen, James Franco, Modesty Yahoo, the reggae artist. You don't really think a Hispanic
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler or a Hispanic Jew, right? So I felt like something was missing. What if I can give a platform for our people to have a voice, to share their experience, how they came to America, and what Judaism means to them, right? I think it's a beautiful thing. And I got to say, going back to your story about how we met, so I was wearing the sweater. It actually said, "This is how I roll," with the dreidel.
Oh, with the dreidel.
With the dreidel, yeah. And it was so amazing, meeting Aaron, and like hearing his personality. And I was a little nervous because when he showed me his little portfolio, I was like, man, he's a Hall of Famer, author. I was like, I'm not ready.
That Hall of Famer still in $5 still only gets me coffee at Starbucks. Okay. So don't worry about it. It's all good though. But thank you for those words. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And I felt like, Aaron, doing what he does and my podcast, I was like, I gotta have him on the show to share, because his voice, just hearing it makes you want to stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? And
same bad time, same bad channel.
But yeah, so this platform has been amazing. I've reached 143 episodes.
Wow.
And all of them has been celebrities. I think it's amazing. I had Michelle Obama's first cousin, who happens to be a rabbi. And the crazy thing, when I posted on TikTok, in 2 days, it reached 91,000 views.
Wow.
Because no one knew that half of their family and some are Jewish. So to share that and to kind of give their perspective, it's just amazing. I just had to, share that.
No, I think listen, something about Vegas, and you kind of skirted it a little bit, and I'm going to kind of fill it in. People look at entertainers. People know the big names, the David Copperfields, you name any big entertainer. This town is filled with great entertainers that don't have the kind of press that those people have, that deserve the same kind of press that the big name entertainers have, such as yourself. I know you're building towards that, and this movie is going to catapult you into that stratosphere. But look at all the entertainers that sing in lounges or in restaurants because they want that opportunity. The worst thing the casinos did here was get rid of the lounges, because that's where some of these acts, troops or groups like the Traineers, who were a staple here in the 50s and 60s. If it wasn't for lounges, those guys would not have existed to the degree that they did. Okay. And so because of the pandemic, a lot of these places took these things away. My point is there's a great amount of entertainers and people in this town that make up the fabric of who we are, not just casinos, not just the ding, 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 ching, ching, ching. There are people like Yaakov and Deborah and Patrick that are part of the fabric of this town because we are the town. And I think that's what's missing. I think with your show, as I've watched some of the episodes, that's what brings your show to light. Here you are, Michelle Obama's first cousin, go figure. But here you are as an entertainer reporting on that, bringing that out of light, out of Vegas, that here's a guy who does his homework and he's entertaining people out of Vegas. Okay, yourself. Vegas is your home with all the work you've done. You're putting Vegas in a light that most people have never seen. I watch CSI because I love saying, oh, I know where that is. Oh, look, that's over my house. Look at that road. But you're showing angles of Vegas that maybe most people don't want to see. But we are a town. We're a city no different than any other. But the great work of two people like I have here sitting next to me, Vegas is filled with tons of people like this. And we all need to get out there to know that there's great work being done here in this town. You don't have to be on the strip, although many people want to be successful. So, that's why I love your show, because you're bringing a more realistic approach to things people should be aware about.
Right.
You're bringing something that which happens every day, people lose a loved one, regardless of mother, son, daughter, natural causes or not, that we go through our own way of coping with a loss. That's a heavy topic, but you're painting it in a way of reality that comes from your mind, as we were just talking about, the inspiration of a couple of years ago, to bring it forward for people to see, you know what? This can happen to anybody, whatever, and I'm trying not to give a lot away. You mentioned before, but what she did to cope with it. So these minds and entertainers and people that we have here, folks, you got to look into more than Vegas and just the 5 miles of dirt that we make $1.3 billion, well, the state anyway, $1.3 billion a year.
Right.
And I'm sorry, I don't mean to go on a soapbox, but one of the things I try to do on this show is have folks like you. Listen, don't get me wrong. David Copperfield calls me and says, hey, Aaron, I want to be a guest on your show. Trust me, I ain't saying no. But I enjoy it. I think my audience after 17 years enjoys realizing that we have people like you who do your thing here in Vegas, and people out there just don't know enough about it. And that's why I love our platforms.
I've been in Vegas.
I'm sorry, I get off my soapbox
No,
now.
no, no, it's great stuff. I've been in Vegas 23 years, and I'm incredibly proud of this town.
Absolutely.
And I'm proud to be a filmmaker that tells Vegas-centric stories.
Absolutely.
I think Vegas. I think the funniest thing I ever heard about this place is it's a sunny place for shady people.
I like that one. No shadier person than the guy behind our board over there, by the way. Right. But that's true. You know, Vegas gets a knock because people don't realize there's more than just the 5 miles of the strip.
Of course.
So when I moved out here, you guys probably asked, where are you going to live? They only have the casinos there. I said, well, let me tell you, they got 2 million people there. They're not living, like between valleys. So not in a sleeping bag. There's homes out there somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think people have realized when I moved out here, we had about, because I'm here only a couple of years longer than you, we had about 500,000 people here maybe at that time, maybe. Now we're at 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, closing on the 3 million mark. I mean, I'm driving on roads that weren't there 25 years ago. You same experience, where I came from in New Jersey, my town was a 10-minute subway ride or train ride into downtown. Manhattan was always there, 8 million people. There was no development there like you're seeing here. We're part of a town that's growing up outside of that 5 miles of dirt that people call the Strip.
The first time I came to Vegas was, I think, 81 when I was a kid.
Okay.
And my father and I, we stayed at the Tropicana, and we had to drive through the desert to get to the airport.
Right?
Oh.
Exactly. It was like an airfield. That's all pretty much it was back then. It wasn't like it is now. I don't care what anybody says. It's still McCarran Airport, by the way. I'm going on record and saying that. Give information about people can find your show.
Yes, you guys can check it out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, The Outlet to Reality. Every Tuesday, 5 in the morning, it comes out. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ching!
Speaking of making money, but you're also found on Facebook. People can reach you directly, right?
Yes.
Tell people how they can find you.
You can find me as Yaakov Montalvo. That's where you can find me. My real
It's a
name
real
is
Jewish
David.
name, isn't it?
Yeah. That's true. It's true. My real name is David, but Yaakov is, it's my name when I go up for the Aliyah. So it's very
your Hebrew
powerful.
name.
It's my Hebrew name.
Right.
It's very powerful.
Mine's Ephraim, by the way.
Oh, wow. Can I tell you a little quick thing about Ephraim?
Please.
So real quick, in Shabbat, we always bless the kids, right? That for the boys, we say, may your kids be like Ephraim and Manasseh. What people don't know is these 2 boys who are the kids of Joseph are the only 2 brothers in the whole Torah that never fought. So by saying that, you're bringing peace to the world.
And success.
Right.
Now we can say it as Aaron. You can get rid of Ephraim, put Aaron in there.
Oh, right. That's
right. That's right. Ephraim Aharon ben Yehuda.
Oh.
That's my dad's name in there at the end. So,
wow.
All right. Now that we've given you our Hebrew lesson for the day, where can people reach you direct? I mean, if people want to reach out other than
sure.
through the movie?
You can find me. You can just Google my name, Deborah Richards, and I'll pop up.
There you go.
But you can find me. I'm pretty active on Instagram. People can find me there.
Okay.
Debbie and Pink. And
I wonder why, by the way.
It's
You
funny.
see the shoes under here, folks.
Can we show.
Can we get? There we go. Look at that. That's right. Look at that.
Fantastic. So when I was picking my email, my name wasn't available, and I was wearing pink. So it was Debbie and Pink at Gmail, and then it was Debbie and Pink for my Instagram, and now people are literally disappointed if I'm not wearing pink when I meet them.
It's become your signature.
Yeah, now it's become a thing.
Well, my friend Kimberly, who's in the chat room, who lives in North Carolina, she is a big fan of pink as well. So she's probably going to become a big fan of yours.
I heard it's a trending color this
That's
year.
right. Won't see me in it, but that's okay. Anyway, I'm only kidding. All right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to step aside for a break, Mr. Producer. When we come back, I'm going to throw my curveball questions at these 2. We're going to have a little fun. You've gone through it with me before, but I changed up some of the questions.
And we also have a scoop.
Oh, yes, we'll do that too. We'll save that towards, we'll do that as well. I haven't forgotten. Is it chocolate or vanilla?
Cherry.
One of these.
Chocolate marshmallow. Hey, you're watching Aaron's Hour. More stuff. We got scoops. We got silly questions and more with you. We'll be right back.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, Stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
We're learning John how to count back there. Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. Appreciate you making us part of your Saturday. We're here every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time. We appreciate you tuning in. Listen, you can always check out my Facebook page. You can leave me messages there for show topics, ideas, people you want to see. And if you missed anything about today's show, you want to catch up again, the movie premiere that Deborah has, the link will be on, the trailer will be on, but message me. I'll get you the information. If you want to remember how to find Yaakov stuff, if you don't want to message me as well, you can do that. I'll get you his end. Go to Roku. Go to WWDB-TV Roku channel. You can rewatch the show and get all the information you need, because the more you watch on Roku, the better it helps us. Anyway, okay, just kidding. Now's the time of the show. It's quick reaction stuff, okay?
Uh-oh.
No phone a friend. None of that stuff. This is whatever comes to mind. And I'm going to ask you both different questions. I'm not asking you both the same question, because then while one of you is answering, you can think about your answer for the other side. I don't want that.
Got it.
All right.
Okay, let me
So-
just reset my mind.
Right. Yeah, I'll give you a little time to think about it because you've done this before. So I'm going to start with you, Yaakov. Who is your favorite actor of all time?
Al Pacino,
Okay, well, that was quick.
That's great.
Scarface. I have to
Say
say.
hello to my little friend.
Here's a little tidbit about Scarface. Not a lot of people know that ending scene when he say hello to my little friend. One of the cameras in that scene was manned by Steven Spielberg.
Really?
Oh.
A young Steven Spielberg. There you go.
He was on set, and what's his name was like, "Hey, you wanna?"
There you go. That's something for your show.
There you go.
Your favorite movie. Now you got a tidbit. Who's your favorite actress of all time? Female side.
My favorite actress of all time. Oh my gosh, Frances McDormand.
Okay. What is something my audience would never guess about you?
I'm single. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry to break the news. You know what I'm saying?
No, let's not break the news. I think many people may be happy about that.
Yeah.
But when I watch a lot of your stuff you post, you'd never know you're single, dude. You know what I'm saying? So, what's the scoop you have? I'm purposely mixing it in. We have breaking news
Okay,
here.
the big scoop. Okay, so while we were in post-production of Moving a Mountain,
Okay.
we actually shot another movie.
Wow.
Shaken and Stirred, which is a documentary.
Shaken,
about,
not stirred?
Shaken and Stirred.
Oh, and stirred. Okay.
Which is a documentary about flair bartenders flipping bottles.
Oh, like
Vegas.
Coyote Ugly, what they do and all that
and,
stuff.
well, Vegas is the capital of the world for flair bartending, so that's the and that comes out this time next year.
Wow.
But that's not even the scoop. The scoop is
So we got a double scoop.
with double scoop. See, that's what I was saying earlier. Double scoop. The big scoop is I've just been greenlit for my third film. So we are shooting a horror in March next year called Scissormouth. And that's my biggest budget to date. Scissormouth. And it is coming out Halloween next year. So that is a huge scoop. And this is the first.
There you have it. Scoops right here in Aaron's Hour. We only bring you the best. Don't forget, I got a voice for this stuff. So if you need something, you know.
I got a Facebook order.
Yeah, it scares me every time I look back there. All right, excellent. Thank you for sharing that with us. And everybody, if you missed it, just go back and watch the show again and get all that information. All right, back to you then. What's your best sandwich?
Oof. I break it down. You gotta get. For me, I like white bread, right?
Okay. Don't tell me you cut the crust.
No.
Okay.
No.
Not challah?
Oh,
Better
that's
be careful.
that's
But
really
you
good.
said white bread. But go
White
ahead.
bread. So you get the white bread, and you put, mayo. You get the turkey, and you put the. I haven't even ate.
I'm like, go on.
You get the crumbs of the chips, any chips you like.
Ooh, I like your style.
You pour it there, right?
This is something good.
Oh, and the last thing you have to add, a little green pepper. Give it a little kick. Close the sandwich, and then you could put the little. What's the little thing you hold
The
the sandwich?
toothpicks?
Toothpick.
Okay.
Put it there.
Has to have the little umbrella on it.
With the little olive?
Yeah. Oh, you could. Oh, I like
Little
that.
olive.
I like that. I like that. A little fancy.
Yeah.
You hold it there, and then you eat that sandwich like never before.
Oh, man.
Wow. You lost me at green peppers.
Oh,
Just for me.
I'm sorry, brother.
That's okay.
You
It's
had
your
me-
sandwich.
Jalapenos. What about jalapenos?
Pickles.
Pickles. Oh, pickles. We could put pickles.
All right.
Kosher pickle.
Of course.
Okay.
Sour pickle.
Oh,
Side of sour tomato.
oh.
You had me a sandwich.
Oh, there you go. All right, back to you for my next question. What's your favorite smell?
Ooh, my favorite smell. I like sandalwood. I once had this. I bought this Les Paul guitar from I think they're built in Memphis or something.
Okay.
And like every time I opened up the case, it was just this beautiful smell of sandalwood. And
Almost like a hope chest when you open it.
oh
You have
my
that
gosh,
smell.
it was amazing. And I was like, people were like, "Are you gonna play the guitar?" And I slam it closed. I was like, "No, it's just for the smell." Can you smell it? Okay, stop smelling it. Let's
Like,
save
get the
that.
little
Let's
waft,
save that.
right?
Let's save that. Yeah. So it was like Memphis saved him. In this.
What's your favorite music genre?
Ooh, you got me with that one.
That's why I paid the tough question. I asked the tough question.
It's a tough. I'm very, I love all music. I'm very big into like rock and roll, Guns N' Roses. She got a smile and she's watching me. Dun, dun, dun. I love it.
So we got that recorded now. I'm going to use this pride material.
Thank
for you.
I got mad crazy quick Guns N' Roses. I won't go to the whole story, but I'll just tell you the headline.
Yeah.
Axl Rose asked me to be in Guns N' Roses about 18 years ago, 20
Whoa.
years ago.
And you said no, why?
Because at that time I was a bartender, one of the best in the world,
Ah.
and I was on top of my game. And that was the world tour that Guns N' Roses did that self-imploded, and they never finished the tour.
Oh, okay.
And I met him here at Spearmint Rhino in Vegas,
Whoa.
and we had a great night. And next day, yada yada.
Nice.
Wow.
Well, listen, that's still I was asked to join. Excellent. If you can win an Olympic medal in any sport, real or fake or whatever you want to do, what sport would that be?
Oh, okay. If I could win an Olympics
Medal in any sport, real or
in a
fake?
real sport, I would want to win it in wiffle ball
Oh, okay.
because I do like my wiffle ball.
Okay.
And there's some active wiffle ball playing here in Vegas,
Didn't know that.
and I've been blessed to be a captain of a wiffle ball team,
Okay.
and so that would be my Olympic sport.
Okay.
But as far as a made-up Olympic sport, I think I would win the gold medal for sniffing out bullshit from 20 miles
From
away.
investors.
Yeah, from 20 miles away. I've been in Vegas so long, my bullshit radar is
Oh, man.
off the chart.
This is a procedural question for you, Yakov.
Okay.
You put your cereal in the bowl before or after the milk? It's very important.
Oh, it does affect your day.
It does. It does. For me, I gotta have the cereal in there already. Pour the milk and just. I don't know if you remember there's an old movie that came out when I was young. It's called Baby something, but it's about a little baby that gets lost in New York.
Okay.
But one of the guys that are like the villains in the movie, he has this big bowl and he fills it up the cereal more than the bowl. And he eats the cereal. I kind of do that. I don't know why. I fill it up more than it's supposed to. I just love, sweet and sugar. But that's how I do it. That's how I do it.
That's what it's supposed
Who
to
the
be.
hell puts milk in first?
Listen,
Wouldn't
I've
it
seen
splash
Stranger
when you
Things.
put the cereal in? Wouldn't it go all over the place?
See, and then if I do
Like, what
bananas, I
animal
put the
does that?
fruit in first, then the cereal on top of it, then the milk.
Right.
So, well, it's like
you have to dig for the fruit.
well, they mix it up
That makes it-
exactly.
that
But you know,
makes
it's
it
like the old like, how do you put the toilet paper on your roll? Where the thing comes over or under? Right?
Right.
I put it straight down. There's literally instructions how to put toilet paper on the roll the right way. You don't pull it up. You get all the dust that collects in there. I mean, come on. You want to put anyway. I digress.
Hard-hitting topics.
That's right. We bring in everything here. Thank goodness we only have a few minutes left. All right, your question for you. Give me your favorite meal from top to bottom, starting with appetizer. Speaking of food.
Oh, speaking of the appetizer, let's go with some antipasta
Okay.
and and a lovely bowl of mushroom soup. And then for the main course, I'd like to throw down with a good old steak.
Good.
And then for dessert, mochi.
What is that?
Mochi.
What is that?
Mochi?
Yeah, I've never heard of
Patrick,
it.
how would you? Oh, Patrick's
He's working hard over there.
He's working hard.
All right, he's thinking over there.
He's thinking. Mochi is like it's like ice cream. It's like Asian ice cream.
Okay.
Like a jello,
Gotcha. Almost like a gelatin kind of thing?
like on the very thin cover of gelatin on
Gotcha.
the outside with ice
Okay.
cream in the center. It's
Gotcha.
mochi and it's yummy.
Okay.
Wow.
I
Yeah, it
take
usually
your word
comes
for
in
it.
like red bean, green tea. How would you describe mochi?
He woke up on mochi.
Yeah.
We're looking at mochi.
Is your mic on?
Sweet. Yeah, my phone, yes. Sweet Japanese rice cake.
There
Ooh.
you go.
Soft and mushy inside.
Oh, okay.
Soft and
Sweet
mushy.
Japanese rice cake, soft and mushy.
Yeah.
That's the way my wife
That-
used
that
to
would-
describe
So
me.
that would be my last meal.
There you
Wow.
Okay. For you, sir, bucket list vacation that you haven't been to. Where'd you like to go?
Oh, I want to go to Hawaii
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
so bad.
Yes.
I love the beach. I love water.
Right.
I like to swim. So if I could be there and just be away from everything, I've only been to 3 countries in my whole life. I'm 30 now. I feel
Wow.
like, my time is ticking. But you know what I'm saying?
That
But
means he's dead back there behind the count.
Oh, man.
The board back there.
but I've been to Mexico, Guatemala,
Sure.
of course, United States. I live here,
Mhm.
but I never left outside. I always want to go to Israel. That's another
Sure.
place I would love to go. To
The homeland.
the homeland to see our history,
Right.
where we kind of all started, and I think it's a beautiful place. I know you have a belt, right?
I do.
That says
It was made in Israel. It's the Israeli belt, championship belt. It's got not the Hanukkah menorah, but the 6-winged one.
Wow.
And it's got the Star David in there, and it represents the Israeli champion, so to speak. But yeah, I have that belt I ordered. It was special design, actually. So maybe if I remember next week's show, I'll bring it in so you can see it on the air, just so I can show it as a
Okay.
reminder.
Okay.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okey-dokey.
When a movie's made about your life, when you
Oh,
retire,
Yeah.
who would you like to see play you in that movie?
Ooh. Wow.
I
That's
guess
a tough one.
I get
Wow,
paid
that's
the
a
tough
one.
questions.
Patrick.
you can think about this one because you're going to answer the
Who
same
do you
one.
think should play me in a
it-
movie about my life?
Who would you cast in as Deborah Richards in her life movie?
Michelle Pfeiffer when she was hot.
When she was hot?
When she was hot?
He's hot. We're making another
Wow.
film together. It's official.
Wow. When she was hot. Are you saying she's not hot now?
Well, Michelle Pfeiffer's a little older now.
Well, no, I
and
understand
No,
not in her
she's
prime.
she's a
Still
beautiful lady. She's a
Okay,
beautiful lady.
that-
But
I wouldn't
Yeah,
kick her
you're
out of the
talking
house.
about like Batman, Catwoman.
yes,
time.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but
Yeah.
that was a little campy with
When
with
she was
Penguin.
Michelle Pfeiffer. Right. That's-
Pronounce every letter in the name. All right, same question to you. Who would you like to see play you in the future movie about Yaakov?
That's tough.
That's
Well, I
tough
gave you
question,
time to
isn't it?
think.
That's tough
I gave you
question.
time to think about it
But
for
you
crying
said
out
it would be
loud.
different questions.
Well, I know, but I lied at the end.
The thing is,
It's my show. I can change up the rules.
I would have to say someone who's not famous. It could be a friend or a neighbor, because who's gonna play a Mexican Guatemalan Jew? That's so hard to find.
Gabriel Iglesias.
Luis Guzman.
Ooh. I could. Somebody, but they have.
Ralph Nader?
Yeah.
That's true. Right. But I need someone like young.
Right.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
And then maybe have them come, Gabriel Iglesias or George Lopez, someone to play when I. When
Have
I
you seen him on TV? The guy's 100 years old. Come on now.
Well, I mean, if I die, I gotta. You know what I'm saying?
Come back as George Lopez.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to change my answer to Frances McDormand, my favorite actress.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she would be wonderful.
Ooh.
All right, I have
She's
two.
wonderful in everything.
I have 2 more questions for both of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1, Batman or Superman? And in case you need a hint to what the right answer is, I'll give it to you. Batman or Superman? Who's your
You
favorite
asked me this
superhero?
question
I
last
did.
time.
Yes.
Ooh, I love Batman.
All right, you can come back again.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I know.
Is this why I'm back again? Because I said Batman
You said,
last
of
time?
course.
Excellent. Okay.
All right. Last question for both of you. Whoever wants to go first, that's fine. I asked you this last time. It's the last question I asked. So
Okay.
let's go to you first then with this. When the day comes that you are at the pearly gates and the maitre d' welcomes you there, what is it you'd like to hear them say before they let you in?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest, a man that can change your life, make you laugh and smile. Give it up for Yaakov.
You know the headstone's only like this big, right?
Oh.
You know, it's the-
I'm sorry. They might need another tombstone. I'm sorry.
Part 1, part 2.
Part 2, yeah.
So
The
nice and
sequel.
tight,
The
nice.
sequel.
That's right, that's right. Send it back at the first one, then part 2, we'll get the rest of it out there. No, but I get it. That's a great message.
Yeah.
Same question. I don't remember what you said last time, but
I
just-
think I
but
would like
change
to,
it up. Give
I
me
would
an
like
answer.
to hear there's been a terrible mistake with
I'm
sending you
sending it back. I've actually gotten something very similar to that a lot of times. It's like, no, I'm not supposed to be here yet. So good stuff. Listen, guys, thank you so much for coming in. Deborah, thank you for coming in again, sharing
Amazing.
breaking news and the movie, Move Me No Mountain, now available on Amazon Prime. Check it out. Again, we're going to show the trailer here at the end, but it will also be on the Roku version when we upload it as well. You can see the trailer there. But check it out, Move Me No Mountain for sure. Yaakov, Outlet to Reality. When can people see it again?
Every Tuesday at 5 in the morning.
And if they're not up at 5 in the morning, that's Pacific time.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's Pacific time. I
But if they're
forgot.
not up at 5 a.m., where can they catch it? Already uploaded on YouTube, yes?
Yes, YouTube.
And your channel?
YouTube, yeah, exactly.
Is?
YouTube, the Outlet to Reality, Spotify, Apple Music. You can catch it there, or in TikTok at Yakov28.
And maybe if our studio is still in need of content, maybe we can get some of your shows uploaded here on our channel. I don't know. I'm just throwing spit to the wind there. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm pimping out his station. Okay, with that, before we say goodbye, I do want to have, I've decided to start doing I found this link for like really stupid, corny jokes, kids and adult stuff. So I always have been sharing an end of the show with it. Anyway, so here's my joke for the day.
And clear.
Yeah, right. That's probably not a bad idea. Why did the bank robber wash his clothes before escaping?
To cover the blood, to hide it, right?
Because he wanted a clean getaway.
Right there. I want to make a clean getaway. With that, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week right here on Aaron's Hour. And as always, like to say, be kind to everybody. Why is that? We're all we have. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time right here. Aaron's Hour. Thank you, everybody.